Let's be honest, you've probably done things for a woman you would never do for yourself. You've stayed up at 3 a.m., rereading her messages, convinced yourself that if you just try a little harder, she'll finally see your worth. You've bent your boundaries, ignored your own needs, and given her the kind of attention you never demand for yourself. If that hit a nerve, good, because right now, deep down, you already know something is off. You're trying to earn what should be naturally reciprocated. You've been trained to believe that love means sacrifice, that to be chosen you must prove yourself worthy. But the truth is brutal. The more you give without being asked, the less she respects you. And I know that feels unfair. I know you want to believe that your loyalty, your dedication, your willingness to go above and beyond will set you apart. But male sacrifice without female investment is not love, it's self-erasure. Women are drawn to emotional strength, not unlimited availability. When you make her your priority before she has even proven she deserves that role in your life, what you communicate isn't devotion, it's desperation. And women feel that instantly. This is the first thing you should never do for a woman. Never lose yourself in the process of trying to win her. Because the moment she feels you're willing to abandon your own standards for her approval, she stops viewing you as a leader, as a man of depth, and starts seeing you as someone she can control. And once she realizes she can control you, the dynamic shifts. Your effort becomes expected, not appreciated. Your patience becomes boring. Your passion becomes predictable. You become replaceable. You want her attention? Stop chasing. You want her desire? Stop proving. You want real connection? Be willing to walk away if she doesn't meet your standards. Because the most attractive man isn't the one who gives her everything. It's the one who doesn't compromise his identity to earn her affection. And here's the uncomfortable truth most men never hear. The second she feels she has complete emotional power over you, the attraction begins to fade. Not because she's cruel, but because your willingness to overextend signals emotional weakness. And emotional weakness to the female mind feels unsafe. Women are biologically wired to test, not to destroy. But when you fail the test before it's even administered, she loses interest. So tonight, when you lie in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying conversations, I want you to ask yourself, am I trying to be chosen or am I choosing? Because until you choose yourself first, you'll always be a guest in your own love story. And that ends now. Too many men confuse loyalty with servitude. The second thing you should never do for a woman is this: never sacrifice your purpose to keep her satisfied. A man without purpose becomes emotionally dependent, and dependency is the silent killer of attraction. She may appreciate attention, but she admires ambition. If you cancel your dreams, stop progressing, or place her on a pedestal above your aspirations, you unknowingly communicate that she is your entire world. And while movies romanticize that idea, real-life female psychology rejects it, because if a man makes her the center of everything, she feels the weight of being responsible for his happiness, a burden that was never meant for her. Women are drawn to men who are moving towards something greater than themselves, not waiting for permission to evolve. The moment she senses your life revolves around her approval, your magnetism weakens. You stop being the man she admired and become the man who seeks emotional survival through her validation, and that is suffocating. Don't misinterpret her complaints about you being busy as a plea for you to abandon your mission. Often it's a subconscious test. She wants to feel like she matters, but she still wants to see that your progress matters more. A woman may question your dedication to your path, but she loses respect when you prove the path was never truly yours. Your purpose is not an inconvenience, it's the very basis of masculine presence. When you put her above your calling, she may enjoy the attention in the moment, but over time, she will feel you drift into complacency. Men who lose momentum in pursuit of affection eventually also lose the affection. So don't ever put your goals on hold just to be more available. Don't reshape your identity to fit her preferences. Don't silence your voice so hers becomes louder in your life. Because a man who abandons his purpose for love ends up losing both. Let your work speak before your words. Let your consistency earn the admiration your effort never could. The man she deeply desires isn't the one who constantly reassures her. It's the one she watches and wonders, how do I get closer to his world? Remember this, attraction isn't built when you're waiting on her. It's built when she's watching you move forward without hesitation. If she truly respects you, she'll never ask you to slow down. She'll work to keep up. And if she walks away because your path demanded focus, let her. Women don't leave great men. They leave men who stopped being great because of them. The day you refuse to compromise your destiny, you stop chasing and start attracting. That's the point where desire stops being conditional and becomes instinctive. Never sacrifice your mission for a woman. If she's right for you, she'll align with it. The third thing you should never do for a woman is give her unlimited emotional access before she has earned it. Most men reveal their entire hearts too soon, mistaking vulnerability for connection. But here's the hidden psychology. To a woman, mystery fuels intrigue. Full emotional exposure too early suffocates it. When you spill your fears, insecurities, and deepest desires before a foundation of mutual respect is formed, she won't feel closer to you. She'll feel responsible for your emotional state. And once a woman feels responsible, she unconsciously steps into a role she never wanted. Your emotional caretaker. The truth is, emotional transparency is powerful, but only when it comes from strength, not need. A woman should meet your confidence before your confessions. She should sense your composure before she hears your concerns, because what makes vulnerability compelling is the contrast. A strong man revealing depth, not a lost man seeking safety. When you treat her as your therapist, when you vent your problems hoping she'll reassure you, you accidentally place her above you emotionally. And no woman wants to feel like she's dating downward. She wants a man who processes his world, not one who collapses into hers. That doesn't mean be cold or detached. It means reveal carefully, intentionally, after she has shown investment, loyalty, and emotional maturity. Women don't fall for men who give them everything. They fall for men who reveal themselves layer by layer, at a pace that makes them lean in, not pull away. Never pour out your emotional energy faster than she pours hers in. When you open the emotional floodgates prematurely, she may listen, but she won't feel admiration. You become a man seeking comfort, not a man building connection. Give her space to wonder who you are. Let her feel your presence before she hears your problems. Let her experience your leadership before she understands your vulnerabilities. A woman doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs you to be grounded. Confide from a place of stability, not desperation. Share after she's proven she can hold what you're about to give. Because once you've handed someone the deepest parts of yourself without earning, you can't ask for those parts back when she leaves. And she will leave if she feels you need her more than you choose her. Emotional access must be earned, not given. So from now on, speak truth, but speak with purpose. Feel deeply, but hold firmly. Be real, but never reckless. You are not hiding your feelings. You are protecting your value. A man who honors his emotional boundaries is a man she cannot easily predict, and that's precisely the kind of man she can't forget. The fourth thing you should never do for a woman is constantly try to solve all her problems. In your mind, it's love. In hers, it often becomes control or emotional suffocation. You see her hurting, you want to fix it. You hear frustration in her voice, you want to remove it. But what you don't realize is that when you take ownership of her emotional battles, you sabotage your masculine energy and strip her of her feminine emotional resilience. Sometimes she doesn't want solutions. She wants presence. She doesn't need you to be her hero. She needs you to be her anchor. Because here's what you weren't told. When you fix everything for her, she feels subconsciously that you don't trust her ability to handle life on her own. And that makes her feel weak, infantilized, or dependent. And ironically, the more you rescue her, the more she pulls away. A woman respects the man who listens without trying to control her experience, who supports without trying to shape her response. When you rush to resolve her issues instead of giving her space to process them, you send a silent message. Her emotions are inconvenient, and that kills intimacy. Emotional leadership is not about fixing, it's about holding stability in the face of the storm. Let her cry without trying to wipe the tears before they fall. Let her express frustration without immediately strategizing solutions. Let her feel without assuming your role is to eliminate the discomfort. She is not a project, she is a person. Your power lies not in managing her emotions, but in remaining grounded while she moves through them. The greatest men don't silence emotional chaos. They calmly exist through it. If she asks for help, give it. But if she is simply expressing pain, offer presence. Let your eyes say, I'm here. Let your posture say, you're strong enough. Let your silence say, I trust you. Because that's how you create safety, not by solving, but by being solid. When you stop trying to fix everything, she sees you not as an emotional mechanic, but as a man who offers stability without taking control. Real leadership is not intrusive, it's supportive. Stop sprinting to protect her from every discomfort. Let her feel, let her rise, let her grow. She doesn't need a man who rescues her from her emotions. She needs a man whose presence makes it safe to experience them. So next time she's upset, breathe, listen, and be still. Because sometimes the most powerful thing a man can do is nothing. Just be there. She'll never forget it. The fifth thing you should never do for a woman is overinvest in someone who hasn't invested equally in you. Most men don't lose in relationships because they weren't giving enough. They lose because they were giving too much to the wrong person. You text first every time, initiate every plan, bend your schedule to fit hers, and you mistake her occasional responses as validation. But the truth is, when effort is unbalanced, attraction fades. Not because she doesn't appreciate kindness, but because deep down she senses that you're trying to earn connection instead of embodying it. And nothing kills desire faster than the feeling of being pursued by someone who needs you to validate their worth. You think persistence proves loyalty. In reality, excessive pursuit signals scarcity. Women respect what is valuable, and value is never displayed through over-availability. If you continually give energy, attention, resources, and emotional assurance to someone who is barely reciprocating, you shift the dynamic from mutual attraction to emotional dependency. And once dependency is established, respect evaporates. She might enjoy the validation, the comfort, the convenience, but she will never truly desire you. Because real desire requires tension, polarity, and earned mutual effort. You can't force that. You can only inspire it by embodying your own value and refusing to negotiate it. If you have to chase consistency, walk away. If you constantly question whether she's into you, she's not. If you find yourself justifying her absence, you've already lost presence. Stop trying to convince someone to choose you. The moment you begin rationalizing her lack of effort is the moment you abandon yours. That is the emotional death of masculine integrity. The right woman will not let you overextend. She will rise to meet you. She will reciprocate, contribute, and invest because your stability will inspire her, not pressure her. And here's the truth few men accept. The more you prioritize your self-respect over her attention, the more magnetically you begin to attract the type of woman who actually wants to build with you. Your value does not increase by giving more. It increases by withdrawing when it's not met. So from today on, stop overextending where you are underappreciated. Don't adjust your standards to be accepted. Let your standards filter who is aligned with you. A woman should enhance your life, not become the sole driver of it. You are not meant to chase, you are meant to be chosen. Effort is meaningful when it's mutual, not when it's a performance to secure affection. If your effort feels like work, you're moving against the natural flow. Pull back. Let silence speak. Let absence reveal what presence couldn't. And if she doesn't move closer, she was never meant to stay. The sixth thing you should never do for a woman is betray your own standards just to avoid losing her. Every time you let something slide that goes against your values, disrespect, emotional manipulation, inconsistencies, You teach her that your boundaries are negotiable. You're afraid that speaking up will push her away, so you stay silent. You're afraid that walking away will mean losing her, so you tolerate behavior that slowly breaks you. But here's the truth no one tells you. The moment you violate your own principles to keep someone, you've already lost them. Because attraction is rooted in respect, and respect cannot survive where self-respect is abandoned. Women don't truly admire men who allow themselves to be walked over. They admire men who have the courage to walk away. Not out of anger, not out of ego, but out of integrity. Your boundaries are not demands. They are declarations of who you are. They are not ultimatums. They are standards. Standards don't push good people away. They reveal them. The wrong woman will test your limits repeatedly. The right one will recognize them and rise to meet them. Most men think they'll lose the woman if they enforce boundaries. What they don't realize is that without boundaries, they slowly lose themselves. And once self-respect fades, so does desire. Because to truly desire a man, a woman must feel his strength, not just physical strength, but emotional strength, the kind that says, I choose you, but I don't need you to choose me to feel whole. Never trade long-term self-worth for short-term emotional comfort. If she crosses a line, address it. If it continues, distance yourself. If she doesn't adjust, end it. Do it calmly, with clarity, not from frustration, but from certainty. You do not control how she behaves. You only control what you tolerate. When a man enforces his standards, he communicates truth without fear, and women feel that. They may resist it in the moment, but deep inside, they respect the man who refuses to be reshaped by approval. You don't need to argue or justify. Your silence and absence will speak. Let her feel what life looks like without your presence. If the connection was real, she will return with alignment. If it wasn't, you just freed yourself sooner. Men who hold firm to their standards don't lose women, they attract the right ones. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. A man anchored in his values is unshakable, and that, to the female mind, is irresistible. Your strength is not in how much you can take, it's in how clearly you can walk away from what takes from you. Like the video, subscribe for more truth most men never hear.